Now let's hook this medium size. Flamingo. The hatflower and hat will hook last. Let's hook this flamingo first. Use 5 strands of wire and small crochet hook. First, hook it straight from the head to the neck. Hook to body, hook to tail. In this way, one hook can be completed without interruption. This is the main part. After hooking, hook the wings again. 2 wings followed by hook eyes. Mouth and leg. Assemble after hooking. After assembly, let's hook the flower on the head. And the hat. Now let's hook the main part first. The main part of the hook is an edge hook. Add shaping strip and filling cotton. Now we use the 1 color thread. Hook straight from head to neck and body. First of all, the first circle is a circular stitch. 6 short stitches. Ring stitches to wrap the thread around your finger twice. Hold up the thread with your hand, here. Take this coil back. Crochet hook through loop. Bring 1 coil over here. Crochet hook with 1 more loop. Finish the loop on the crochet hook. This is the circular stitching. Now let's make 6 short stitches. The short stitch is 1 loop of crochet stitch. There are another loop on the crochet hook. Crochet with 1 loop. Finish these 2 coils. This V-shape form here. It's just a short stitch. The first short stitch of each loop, we will use 1 mark buckle to make a mark. Then the second short stitch. Crochet hook through circle. Bring 1 coil over here. Crochet hook with 1 more loop. Finish the 2 loops on the crochet hook. This is the second short stitch. The first circle is 6 short stitches. Then we crochet for more short stitches. After crocheting 6 short stitches, we can count 1 to see if there are 6 one shape. After confirming, let's tighten the coil. The way to close the coil is to pull down one of the wires. Look at which of these 2 circles is moving. It's this thread that's moving. Let's tighten this thread. After pulling, pull this thread. Take this thread and finish the thread you just pulled. This completes the coil collection. Let's cut the thread off. Each loop must be completed with a pull-out pin. The circle. The extraction needle is hooked at this position of the mark buckle. That is, the first stitch of each circle. This location. We take off the marker buckle. Hook a pull-out pin at the mark buckle position. The pull-out needle is a crochet winding one loop. Bring out this loop on the crochet hook. This is a pull pin. Because the pull-out pin does not count as one pin in the circle. And in order to make the connecting seam look better, let's make the pin smaller. The way to make it smaller is to pull it this way and this way. In this way, the top white stitch will be very small. This completes the first loop. The beginning of each loop, we all need to hook a standing stitch first. The standing stitch is one loop of crochet stitch. Bring out this loop on the crochet hook. The V-shaped form here is a standing pin. The second circle is composed of 6 additional stitches. One total is 12 needles. Now let's hook the first additional stitch. Hook the first additional stitch at the marked button position. To add stitches is to hook 2 short stitches into the same stitch. Make 2 short stitches in the same stitch like this. Add a marker buckle here on the first stitch. This is the first pin of the second circle. Then hook the second additional stitch downwards. It's just 2 short stitches in the same stitch. The third plus needle. The fourth plus needle. The fifth plus needle. Sixth additional needle. The second circle is hook. Pull at the marker buckle position to end this one loop. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. The third circle is composed of 6 groups. It consists of 1 short stitch and 1 extra stitch. One total is 18 needles. Now let's hook the first group. Hook a short stitch at the mark of the buckle. Add mark buckle. Continue to hook 1 additional stitch. In this way, the first group of hook is completed. In the second group, 1 short stitch and 1 extra stitch. In the third group, 1 short stitch and 1 extra stitch. Then there are 3 groups. Let's hook it up together. The third circle is hook. Take off the marking buckle. Pull it out at the mark buckle position, and the circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. First hook a standing stitch. The fourth circle is composed of 6 groups. It consists of 2 short stitches and 1 plus stitch. 1 total 24 needles. Now let's hook the first group. Hook the first short stitch at the marked bottom position. Add marked buckle. The second short stitch. 1 plus needle. The first group has been hooked. The second group of 2 short stitches. 1 plus needle. The second group has been hooked. Then there are 4 groups. Let's hook it up together. The fourth circle is hooked. Take off the marking buckle. Pull it out at the marked buckle position. And this circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook another standing stitch. The fifth circle is composed of 3 groups, 6 short stitches, and 1 subtractive stitch. 1 total 21 needle. Now let's hook the first group. Mark the location of the buckle. Hook the first short stitch. Add marked buckle. The second short stitch, the third short stitch. The fourth short stitch, the fifth short stitch. Sixth short stitch, 1 subtracting stitch. Subtracting stitches combine the stitches into 1 stitch. Repeat the other half of the 2 stitches. It's the 1.5 cost to ourselves. Like this 1.5 stitches. And the other half stitch of the next stitch. The rest is the inner half needle. It's the inner half needle far away from ourselves. After picking, crochet 1 loop. Bring out these 2 other half stitches. There are another loop on the crochet hook. Crochet hook with 1 more loop. Finish these 2 coils. This is a minus needle. The purpose of needle reduction, just merge 2 pins into 1 pin. The first group has been hooked. The second group of 6 short stitches. One subtraction stitch. The second group has been hooked. Then there's the 1 group. Let's hook it up together. The fifth circle is hooked. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle. End of extraction. This circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. The sixth circle consists of 1 short stitch. 1 plus needle. 2 short needles. 3 additional needles. 7 short stitches. 3 additional needles. 2 short needles. 1 plus needle. Composed of 1 short stitch. 1 total 29 stitches. We'll hook the first short stitch at the marked buckle position. Add marked buckle. 1 plus needle. To add stitches is to hook 2 short stitches into the same stitch. Then hook 2 short stitches. 3 additional needles. Seven short stitches. Three additional needles. Two short needles. One plus needle. One short needle. In this way, the sixth circle has been hooked. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle. End of extraction. This circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook another standing stitch. The seventh circle is made of 9 short stitches. 1 plus needle. 9 short stitches. 1 plus needle. Composed of 9 short stitches. 1 total is 31 stitches. Let's crochet 9 short stitches. First, hook the first short stitch at the marked bottom position. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. 1 has a total of 9 short stitches. Let's hook it up together. Count 1 to see if it is 9 short stitches. It's 9 short needles. Then hook 1 additional stitch. Crochet 9 more short stitches. One plus needle. 9 short stitches. The seventh circle is hooked. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle. End of extraction. This circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. The eighth loop is to hook 1 short stitch into each stitch. 1 total is 31 stitches. Hook the first short stitch at the marked bottom position. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. This circle is all short stitches. Let's hook it up together. The eighth circle is hooked. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle. End of extraction. This circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. The ninth circle is made up of 2 short stitches. 3 sets of 2 short stitches and 1 subtractive stitch. 3 separate short needles. 3 sets of 2 short stitches and 1 subtractive stitch. Composed of 2 separate short needles. 1 is 25 stitches in total. We'll hook the first short stitch at the marked buckle position. Add mark buckle. the second short stitch. Then crochet 3 groups of 2 short stitches and 1 subtracting stitch. Now let's hook the first group of 2 short stitches. 1 subtraction stitch. The first group has been hooked, and the second group has completed 2 short stitches. 1 subtraction stitch. The third group of 2 short stitches. 1 subtraction stitch. After the 3 groups are hooked, hook 3 separate short stitches. Then crochet 3 groups of 2 short stitches and 1 subtracting stitch. The first group of 2 short stitches. 1 subtraction stitch. The second group of 2 short stitches. 1 subtraction stitch. The third group of 2 short stitches. 1 subtraction stitch. After 3 groups of hook are completed, 2 short stitches are hooked separately. In this way, the 9th circle is hooked. Take off the marking buckle. Undo extraction at the marked buckle position. This one loop tightens the pulled pins. Hook another standing stitch. The 10th circle is composed of 4 groups, 1 short stitch and 1 subtraction stitch, a single short needle. The final 4 groups consist of 1 short stitch and 1 reducing stitch. 1 total is 17 needles. Now let's hook the 4 group first. 1 short stitch and 1 reducing stitch. Hook the first group first. Hook the first short stitch at the marked button position. Add marked buckle. 1 subtraction stitch. The first group has been hooked, and the second group has completed 1 short stitch. 1 subtraction stitch. The second group has been hooked. The third group includes 1 short stitch and 1 subtractive stitch. Group 4. 1 short needle. 1 subtraction stitch. In this way, the hooking of the 4 group is completed. Then hook a short stitch separately. Then repeat the hook for groups. 1 short stitch and 1 reducing stitch. Now hook the first group of 1 short stitch. 1 subtraction stitch. The second group of 1 short stitch. 1 subtraction stitch. The third group includes 1 short stitch and 1 subtractive stitch. The fourth group includes 1 short stitch and 1 subtractive stitch. Now let's add the white first. Take a piece of white like this. Fold it into a shape like this. This is a circle. This circle should be smaller than the width of the head. But the height is about the same as the head. And this root should be in the center. Because the next root is the neck. This section here is the neck. We can get in like this. And try to keep this line in the middle as much as possible. Right in the middle of the head. After we added the wire, we continue to hook it down. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle. End of extraction. Pick one loop to tighten the pulled stitches. Hook another standing stitch. The 10th circle has been hooked. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle. End of extraction. This one loop tightens the pulled pins. Hook a standing stitch. The 11th circle is composed of 4 minus needles, composed of 1 short stitch and for subtracting stitches. 1 total is 9 needles. We pick this position of the mark buckle. The other half of the stitch. And the other half stitch of the next stitch. Hook the first subtracting stitch. Add mark buckle. If everyone finds it troublesome, this wire can still be taken out. We'll take it out. Wait until our 1 circle hooks to 1.5. Just add a hook and it'll be fine. Then the second subtraction stitch. The third minus stitch. The fourth minus stitch. One short needle. Put in. To avoid waiting for 1, the lower opening is too small, can't get it in. For subtraction stitches. The 11th circle is hooked. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle. End of extraction. This one loop tightens the pulled pins. Hook another standing stitch. Here we first add filling cotton. When adding filling cotton, we need to put the remaining piece of wire in the middle. Filling cotton is added around 4. This is what it looks like after adding the filling cotton. Try to keep the wire in the middle of the stuffing cotton. Just let for have stuffing cotton around it. If this wire is too long and too troublesome, we can bend it here first. Wait until needed, then fold it into the shape we want. Now the bending is just to facilitate our hooking process. The 12th circle is composed of 7 short stitches and 1 subtraction stitch. Hook the first short stitch at the marked button position. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. The fourth short stitch. The fifth short stitch. Sixth short stitch. The seventh short stitch. One subtraction stitch. The 12th circle has been hooked. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle. Lead to end the circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. The 13th circle to the 22nd circle are like one. It is to hook a short stitch on each stitch. Each circle is 8 stitches. What is hooked here is the segment 1. Wrap your neck around this wire hook. Andre had stuff and cotton while hooking it. The stuff and cotton is also sandwiched around the iron wire. Now, we hook the first short stitch at the marked bottom position. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. These turns are all short stitches. Each circle is 8 stitches. Let's hook it up together. Just wrap it around the wire and hook it. After we almost hooked such a long one segment, just add stuffing cotton. The filling cotton is evenly sandwiched around the iron wire. After adding the stuffing cotton, let's continue hooking it down. Add while hooking. The 22 circles have been hooked and filled with cotton. Take off the marking buckle. Pull at the mark buckle position to end this one loop. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook another standing stitch. The 23 circles to the 25 circles are 1. It consists of 2 short needles. 4 medium-length needles, composed of 2 short stitches. One total is 8 needles. Now let's crochet the short stitches. First, hook the first short stitch at the marked bottom position. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. For medium-length needles, the medium-long needle is a crochet stitch with 1 loop. Pass the crochet hook through the stitches and bring 1 loop over. There are now 3 loops on the crochet hook. Crochet hook with 1 more loop. Take all 3 coils. This is a medium-length needle. The second medium-length needle. The third medium-length needle. The fourth medium-length needle. Then hook 2 short stitches. In this way, the 23 circles are hooked. The 24 to 25 circles are hooked in the same way as this one circle. Let's hook it up together. The 25th circle has been hooked. Take off the marking buckle. And the extraction at the mark buckle position. This one loop tightens the pulled pins. Hook another standing stitch. This part of this medium long needle. Wear the place where the neck turns. It's the place where the neck connects to the body. We need to bend at leisure. But in order to facilitate our crocheting later, don't bend now. So, here we can first put the medium long needle part. Fasten it with the marker buckle. Make a mark. It's easier to find in the back. Then we hook down the body part. The 26th circle is made up of 3 short stitches. 2 plus needles. Composed of 3 short stitches. 1 hurdle is 10 needles. We hook the first short stitch at the marked buckle position. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. 2 plus needles. To add stitches is to hook 2 short stitches into the same stitch. Three short needles. The 26th circle has been hooked. Take off the marking buckle. And the extraction at the marked buckle position. This circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. The 27th circle is made up of 4 short stitches. 2 plus needles. Composed of 4 short stitches. 1 hurdle is 12 needles. Hook the first short stitch at the marked button position. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. The fourth short stitch. 2 plus needles. For short stitches. The 27th circle has been hooked. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle and of extraction. This circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. The 28th circle is made up of 3 plus stitches. 6 short stitches. Composed of 3 plus stitches. 1 hurdle is 18 needles. Now let's crochet 3 additional stitches. First, hook the first additional stitch at the marked bottom position. To add stitches is to hook 2 short stitches into the same stitch. Add a marker buckle here on the first stitch. The second additional needle. The third plus needle. Six short stitches. 3 additional needles. The 28th circle is hook. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle and of extraction, this circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. The 29th circle has 3 groups. 1 short stitch and 1 extra stitch. -1 individual short stitches. 3 groups, 1 short stitch and 1 extra stitch. 1 total 24 needles. Now let's hook the 3 groups first. 1 short stitch and 1 extra stitch. Hook the first short stitch at the marked button position. Add mark buckle. 1 plus needle. The first group has been hooked. The second group of 1 short stitch. 1 plus needle. The third group of 1 short stitch. 1 plus needle. After 3 groups of hooks are finished, hook 6 short stitches. After crocheting 6 short stitches, crochet 3 groups, 1 short stitch and 1 extra stitch. Group 1, 1 short stitch, 1 extra stitch. The second group of 1 short stitch. 1 plus needle. The third group of 1 short stitch. 1 plus needle. In this way, the 29 loop is completed. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle and of extraction, this circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. The third circle is composed of 6 groups, composed of 3 short stitches and 1 plus stitch. 1 total is 30 stitches. Now let's hook the first group. Hook the first short stitch at the marked button position. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. 1 plus needle. The first group has been hooked. The second group of 3 short stitches. One plus needle. The second group has been hooked. Then there is the second group. Then there are 4 groups. Let's hook it up together. The third circle is hooked. Take off the marking buckle. And the extraction at the marked buckle position. This one loop tightens the pulled pins. Hook a standing stitch. The 31 loop is to hook one short stitch into each stitch. One hurdle is 30 stitches. Hook the first short stitch at the mark button position. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. This circle is all short stitches. Let's hook it up together. The 31 circle is hook. Take off the marking buckle. And the extraction at the mark buckle position. This one loop tightens the pulled pins. Hook a standing stitch. The 32 circle is composed of 6 groups, composed of 4 short stitches and 1 plus stitch. 1 total 36 needles. Now let's hook the first group. Hook the first short stitch at the marked button position. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. The fourth short stitch and the first extra stitch. To add stitches is to hook 2 short stitches into the same stitch. The first group has been hooked. The second group of 4 short stitches. One plus needle. The second group has been hooked. Then there are 4 groups. Let's hook it up together. The 32 loops are hooked. Take off the marking buckle. And the extraction at the marked buckle position. This one loop tightens the pulled pins. Hook another standing stitch. The 33 circles to the 39 circles are 1. It is to hook a short stitch on each stitch. Each circle is 36 stitches. Hook the first short stitch at the marked button position. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. These twins are all short stitches. Let's hook it up together. Let's do it after the 39 loops are hooked. Put the wire. Fix form. First, the wire. Right here where we sit on the mark. It's the corner of the neck. And bend it right in front here. After bending, the body forms a circle here. This circle looks like this. That is, if we press it with our hand, like this. It's the shape. This circle should not be too long, because it has to grow inside the body. When pressing the circle, the head and neck are erect. After the circle is folded, we continue to hook it down. The 39 circle is hooked. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle. Lead to end the circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. The 40 circle is composed of 6 groups of 4 short stitches and 1 subtractive stitch. 1 total is 30 stitches. Now, let's hook. Group 1. Hook the first short stitch at the marked button position. Add marked buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. The fourth short stitch and the one subtracting stitch. The first group has been hooked. The second group of 4 short stitches. One subtraction stitch. The second group has been hooked. Then there are 4 groups. Let's hook it up together. The fourth circle is hooked. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle and of extraction. This circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. The 41 circle is composed of 6 groups, composed of 3 short stitches and 1 subtractive stitch. 1 total 24 needles. Now, let's hook. Group 1. Hook the first short stitch at the marked button position. Add marked buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch and the 1 subtracting stitch. The first group has been hooked. Then there are 5 groups. Let's hook it up together. The 41 circle is hooked. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle and of extraction. This one loop tightens the pull pins. Hook a standing stitch. The 42 circle is composed of 6 groups, composed of 2 short stitches and 1 subtractive stitch. 1 total is 18 needles. Now we come. Hook group 1. Hook the first short stitch at the marked button position. Add marked buckle. The second short stitch. 1 subtraction stitch. The first group has been hooked. Then there are 5 groups. Let's hook it up together. The 42 circle is hooked. Take off the marking buckle. And the extraction at the marked buckle position. This one loop tightens the pulled pins. Hook a standing stitch. The 43 circle is composed of 6 groups. It consists of 1 short stitch and 1 subtracting stitch. 1 total is 12 needles. Hook the first short stitch at the marked button position. Add marked buckle. 1 subtraction stitch. The first group has been hooked and the second group has been hooked. 1 short stitch and 1 reducing stitch. The second group has been hooked. Then there are 4 groups. Let's hook it up together. The 43 circle is hooked. Here we take this shape. Okay. This is the front. This is the back. Here is the part of the medium long needle. After making sure, look here at this. This is what the Y looks like. Such a circle. Now let's add the stuffing. Filling cotton is added to the top, bottom and two sides of the wire. The 43 circle is hook. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle. End of extraction. This circle tightens the pulling stitches. Hook a standing stitch. The 44 circle is composed of 6 minus stitches. A total of 6 needles. We pick. Mark the other half of the stitch of the buckle. And the other half stitch of the next stitch. Hook the first reducing stitch. Add mark buckle. The second subtraction stitch. The third minus stitch. This round is all reduction stitches. Let's finish it together. The 44th circle is hook. Take off the marking buckle. And the extraction at the marked buckle position. This circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook another standing stitch. The 45 loops per crochet. Pass through 2 symmetrical stitches at the same time. Let's flatten the circle. Fold in half and hook. Crochet through 2 symmetrical stitches at the same time. Here to crochet short stitches. One requires a total of 3 short stitches. Crochet through the first and last stitches. Hook the first short stitch. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. In this way, the 45th circle is completed. Now let's hook 3 tails. Here are the 3 short stitches of the 46th circle. First we hook 6 locking stitches. The lock stitch is a crochet stitch wrapped around one loop. Bring out this loop on the crochet hook. The V shape here is a locking pin. One requires a total of 6 locking stitches. 6 lock pins. After hooking, return to the second lock stitch from the bottom. Pick a half crochet short stitch. 1 straight along this 1 lock stitch hook. 5 short stitches. They all use half a needle to hook. Return the second to last. Pick half a stitch, here. Hook the first short stitch. Pick half a stitch down. Hook the second short stitch. The third short stitch. The fourth short stitch. The fifth short stitch. After hooking it up, the tail will be finished. Then we are here on the second pin of the 46th circle. Hook a pulling needle. That's where the second pin is. Hook a pulling needle. The pulling needle is directly attached to one loop of crochet thread. Bring out this loop on the crochet hook. Tighten the pull-out pins. Then let's hook the second tail. Here is the first step to hook non-locking stitches. First hook non-lock stitches. Return to the second to last lock stitch. Start making 8 short stitches down here. The second to last. Here is the stitch, starting with the short crochet stitch. 1 is a total of 8 short stitches. Pick a half crochet short stitch. After 8 short stitches are crocheted, we are on the third pin of the 46th circle, here. Hook a pulling needle. Just hook a pull-out pin at this position of the mug buckle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Let's hook the last tail. It's the same as the first root as 1. First hook 6 locking stitches. Return to the second to last lock stitch. Start making 5 short stitches downwards. After hooking, pull it out on the same pin. Then disconnect and hide the line. First hook 6 locking stitches. Return to the second to last lock stitch. Start crocheting 5 short stitches. After hooking, use the same stitch. It's the last stitch. Hook, then pull the needle here. Broken line, hidden line. Hide the thread in. You can tie a knot. Hide the knot again. This completes the tail. This way from head to neck to body to tail. This main part is completed. We use black thread. These 3 tails around the tail. Hook 1 loop around these 3 tails to pull out the needle. In the first tail. Here. The first hole is here. Hook the thread in. Hook 1 locking stitch. Hook the first pull-out stitch on the same stitch, here. The drawing needle is just 1 trail of crochet thread. Bring out this loop directly on the crochet hook. This is a pull pin. Where there are holes, we crochet. Hook along the 3 tails. The wire of this coil here should be left long enough. This place on the corner. Crochet the stitches in the same stitch. Then hook down. Where there are holes, we hook. This is also the corner. Crochet the stitches in the same stitch. Then come here. We follow this method. 1 hook 3 tails straight away. After hooking, we cut off the thread and hide it. This line is also hidden in. If the line is too short, you can insert the needle first, then put the thread. Pass through. This completes the tail. The main part is also completed. Now let's hook 2 wings. Now we use color 1 thread to hook the wings. One has to hook 2 in total. This is what it looks like after hooking the wings. The first loop of circular stitch, 6 short stitches. The first short stitch. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. The fourth short stitch. The fifth short stitch. Sixth short stitch. Tighten the coil. Cut the thread. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle. Lead to end the circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. The second circle is composed of 6 additional stitches. One total is 12 needles. Hook the first additional stitch at the marked button position. To add stitches is to hook 2 short stitches into the same stitch. Add a marker buckle here on the first stitch. The second additional needle. The third plus needle. The fourth plus needle. The fifth plus needle. Sixth additional needle. The second circle is hook. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle. Lead to end the circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. The third circle is composed of 12 short stitches. Just hook a short stitch on each stitch. Hook the first short stitch at the marked button position. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. This circle is all short stitches. Let's hook it up together. The third circle is hook. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle. Lead to end the circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. The fourth circle is composed of 3 groups, composed of 3 short stitches and 1 plus stitch. One total is 15 needles. Now let's hook the first group. Hook the first short stitch at the marked button position. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch and the first extra stitch. The first group has been hooked. The second group of 3 short stitches. 1 plus needle. The second group has been hooked. The third group of 3 short stitches. 1 plus needle. The fourth circle is hook. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle. Lead to end the circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. The fifth circle is composed of 3 groups of 4 short stitches. 1 plus stitches. One total is 18 needles. Now let's hook the first group. Hook the first short stitch at the marked button position. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. The fourth short stitch. 1 plus needle. The first group has been hooked. Then there are 2 groups. Let's hook it up together. The fifth circle is hook. Take off the marking buckle. And the extraction at the marked buckle position. This one loop tightens the pulled pins. Hook a standing stitch. The 6th circle to the 7th circle are like one. It is to hook a short stitch on each stitch. Each loop is 18 stitches. Hook the first short stitch at the marked button position. Add marked buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. These two circles are all short stitches. Let's hook it up together. The seventh circle is hook. Take off the marking buckle. And the extraction at the marked buckle position. This one loop tightens the pulled pins. Hook a standing stitch. The eighth circle is composed of 3 groups for short stitches and 1 subtraction stitch. One total is 15 needles. Now let's hook the first group. Hook the first short stitch at the marked button position. Add marked buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. The fourth short stitch. 1 subtraction stitch. The first group has been hooked. The second group of 4 short stitches. One subtraction stitch. The second group has been hooked. There is also one group. Let's hook it up together. The eighth circle is hook. Take off the marking buckle. And the extraction at the marked buckle position. This one loop tightens the pulled pins. Hook a standing stitch. The ninth loop is after folding the fabric in half and crocheting. At the same time, pass 2 symmetrical stitches to hook the short stitch. One has a total of 7 short needles. Now we crochet. Pass through the first and last stitches. Hook the first short stitch. Add marked buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. The fourth short stitch. The fifth short stitch. Sixth short stitch. The seventh short stitch. This is what it will look like after it's over. The 10th round is to hook 1 lock stitch first. Flip over. Now let's hook 1 locking stitch and flip it over. Start hooking towards this one. First, hook a medium long needle. Then hook 4 long stitches in the same stitch. Hook 1 medium length stitch in the next stitch. Then hook 4 short stitches, down. In this way, the 10th circle is hooked. We just hooked a lock stitch and turned it over. Now let's hook a medium long needle. The medium length needle is a crochet wrap 1 loop through this needle. The first stitch brings the 1 coil over. There are now 3 loops on the crochet hook. Crochet with 1 loop. Take all 3 coils. This is a medium length needle. We add the marker buckle here. Then on the second pin, here, hook for long needles into the same stitch. The long stitch is a crochet, wrap one loop through the stitch. Bring one coil over here. The thread has 3 loops on the crochet hook. Crochet hook with 1 loop and finish the first loops. There are an outer loop on the crochet hook. Crochet hook with 1 more loop. Finish these 2 coils. This one is a long needle. We all need to be in the same pin. Let's hook for long needles. Now I hooked a long needle, then hook 3 more long stitches. 1 total of 4 long needles. In this way, 4 long needles are hooked into the same stitch. The hook is finished here. Then hook a medium length needle into the next stitch. Then hook for short stitches, down. It's the last shot. Take it off, then don't fasten it. In this way, the 10th circle is hooked. The 11th circle, yes. Hook 1 locking stitch. Chain over and hook for short stitches. Hook the short stitch of the upper loop, here. That's right here. Hook for short stitches down like this. The first short stitch. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. The fourth short stitch. This is the 11th. The loop is hook. The 12th loop is to hook 1 locking stitch first. Flip over. Hook 1 medium long needle. Under the same pin here. Crochet for long needles in the same stitch. Hook 1 medium length stitch in the next stitch. Hook a pull-out stitch here on the last stitch. Now let's hook the 12th loop. Hook a lock stitch first. Trim the fabric. Hook 1 medium length stitch here on the first stitch. Make 4 long stitches in the same stitch of the second stitch. Hook 1 medium length stitch in the next stitch. On the last stitch. That's where the buckle is marked. Hook a pulling needle. The pull-out needle is a crochet winding 1 loop. Bring out this loop on the crochet hook. Tighten the pull-out pins. In this way, the color number 1 part is completed. Here we need to leave threads to sew. Sew here. After leaving the thread, cut it. Let's thread this thread here again. From the 1 layer in the middle, here is the 2 layer. Go through this one layer in the middle. In this way, the color number 1 part is completed. Then we use the black line. Follow the circle. Right here. Here comes the hook. This is how the wings are placed. Put it like this. One side one only. Let's hook the black thread in first. Hook one first. Standing needle. It's just a log pin. Hook the first short stitch here in the first stitch. Next stitch. Hook the second short stitch. When hooking, we put this black thread on the crochet hook. This will hide the threads. This way the thread ends are wrapped inside. Then lower the short stitch. Hook one short stitch into each stitch. We can cut off this thread. Here, this corner, here. Here we can crochet one more stitch. Broken line, hidden line. Hide this black line, in. Hidden here in the middle. Then cut off the thread. In this way, the wings are hooked. One of us wants to hook too. Now let's hook twice. Now we use white thread to hook twice. The first loop is a circular stitch. 5 short stitches. The first short stitch. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. The fourth short stitch. The fifth short stitch. Tighten the coil. Cut the thread. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle. lead to end the circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook another standing stitch. The second round is to hook a short stitch on each stitch. 1 has 5 stitches in total. Hook the first short stitch at the marked button position. If it's too tight, we can use a needle to clasp the stitch. Under the pawn. The first short stitch adds the marker button. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. The fourth short stitch. The fifth short stitch. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle. Lead to end the circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook another pull-out needle. Disconnected. Hide the thread again. Just hide the thread behind it. Then cut off the thread. S. The white part of the eyes is finished. It is three-dimensional and bulging. Let's glue 6 eyeballs on it. Now we use 6 eyeballs. That is, small eyes, taped with tape. Stick one little bit. Stick in the center. Wait for the excess glue to dry. Just take it off. This way the eyes are completed. One of us wants to hook too. Now let's hook this mouth. The front of the mouth is black. The color here on the back is the same as the light. That is, the thread with color number 2. Here this one is used. 2 strands of black thread for sewing. The purpose is to take the slant that was originally 5 strands, separate the strands and sew them. Then the inside of the mouth needs to be filled with cotton. Now let's hook the mouth. The first 4 circles of the mouth. It's hooked with black thread. The 5th to 8 circles are hooked with thread number 2. The number 2 color thread is also the color of the hook line. Here to let everyone see more clearly. The black part, we will use this color line. Let's show it to everyone. First we use black thread to hook. Circle 1 to circle 4. The first loop is a circular stitch. For short stitches. The first short stitch. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. The fourth short stitch. Tighten the coil. Scissor thread. Take off the marking buckle. Pull at the mark buckle position to end this one loop. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. The second circle is composed of two groups. It consists of one short stitch and one extra stitch. One has 6 needles in total. Now let's hook the first group. Hook the first short stitch at the marked button position. Add mark buckle. 1 plus needle. The first group has been hooked. The second group of 1 short stitch. 1 plus needle. The second group has been hooked. The second circle is hooked. Take off the marking buckle. Pull at the mark buckle position to end this one loop. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. The third circle is made of 1 short stitch. 1 medium-length needle. 2 medium-length needles plus needles. Composed of 1 medium-long needle and 1 short needle. 1 total is 8 needles. We'll hook the first short stitch at the marked buckle position. Add mark buckle. 1 medium-length needle. Two medium-length needles plus needles. Just hook 2 medium-length needles into the same stitch. This is the first medium-length needle plus needle. Just hook 2 medium-length needles into the same stitch. Then hook the second medium-long needle and add stitches. Then 1 medium-length needle. Finally add short stitch. In this way, the third loop is completed. Take off the marking buckle. Pull at the mark buckle position to end this one loop. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. The fourth circle has 2 short stitches. 1 medium-length needle. 2 medium-length needles plus needles. 1 medium-length needle. Composed of 2 short stitches. 1 is a total of 10 needles. We'll hook the first short stitch at the marked buckle position. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. 1 medium-length needle. 2 medium-length needles plus needles. 1 medium length needle, 2 short needles, In this way, the fourth loop is completed. After hooking, it will look like this. It's just that it's longer here in the front. It will be shorter here later. The fourth circle is hook. As the fifth lap begins, let's change the number to color thread to hook. So when the fourth lap is drawn, we're about to switch lines. Take off the marking buckle, replace and pull out the wires at the mark buckle position. Directly form this line into a circle like this. Just put it here on the head of the crochet hook. When we're done with this thread, we put it on the crochet hook. This way you can hide this line. Now the hand is holding the thread of color number 2. Let's hook in the thread of color number 2 first. This completes the line change. Tighten the thread of color number 2 and the thread of this color. This hand holds the thread of color number 2. Now we use color number 2 thread. First hook a standing stitch. These 2 wires are held down here. The fifth circle is made of 3 short stitches. For medium length needles, composed of 3 short stitches. 1 hurdle is 10 needles. Now we're marking this location of the buckle. Hook the first short stitch. These 2 unnecessary lines. Put it on crochet hook. This way you can hide this line. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. For medium length needles, this is the first medium length needle. We can cut this line. The second medium length needle. The third medium length needle. The fourth medium length needle. 3 short needles. In this way, the fifth circle is hooked. Take off the marking buckle. And the extraction at the marked buckle position. This loop tightens the pull-out needle. For hook 1 standing pin. The 6th circle to the 8th circle are like 1. It is to hook a short stitch on each stitch. Each loop is a 10 stitch. We'll hook the first short stitch at the marked buckle position. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. These twins are all short stitches. Let's hook it up together. The 8th circle is hooked. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle. Lead to end the circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. 续切. Disconnected. Pull the thread out of this pin. Process 1. Just 1 needle to the front. 1 stitch in the back, 1 stitch, 一页. That's it. Next, let's add filling cotton. After adding the filling cotton, this math is finished. What we want to hook is this color. Just use this color here. Just here to demonstrate to you. After the math is finished, we use 1 black thread comes out into strand. Axis. This section of number to color. Here come 2 sides to sew 1 black thread. This is the middle. The position of the center line of the 2 sides. It's a bit crooked. I want to go back. After applying, let's tie a knot. Disconnected. Then make a similar seam on the side. This one side is sewn in the same way. After sewing, let's add stuffing. After sewing the 2 sides, let's add stuffing. After adding the filling cotton, this math is finished. Let's hook 2 legs. It's hooked with thread number 2. Now we use the colored threads to hook the 2 legs. This is the first lap. This is the second lap. Now let's hook the first loop first. The first loop is a circular stitch. 6 short stitches. The first short stitch. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. The fourth short stitch. The fifth short stitch. Sixth short stitch. Tighten the coil. Cut the thread. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle and of extraction, this circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. The second circle is to form 3 bulging bags like this. The hook method is: this one circle is the 6 short stitches of the first circle. Let's hook the second loop from here. In the second round, first hook a short stitch. Now let's hook a short stitch first. Hook the first short stitch at the marked bottom position. Add marked buckle. Then on the second pin, here, crochet 3 unfinished long stitches in the same stitch. Three unfinished long stitches are hooked like this. Crochet 1 loop. Crochet hook through second stitch. Come out with 1 coil. The thread has 3 loops on the crochet hook. Crochet hook with 1 loop and finish the first loops. There are now 2 loops on the crochet hook. Then we repeat the actions just now. Repeat 2 times. We wrap a crochet hook, wind 1 coil, pass through second stitch, just the same pin. Bring 1 coil over here. There are now 4 loops on the crochet hook. Crochet hook with 1 loop and finish the first loops. The thread has 3 loops on the crochet hook. Last stitch. Crochet 1 loop. Bring 1 coil over in the same stitch. There are now 5 loops on the crochet hook. Bring 1 more stitch to the crochet hook to finish the first 2 stitches. There are now 4 loops on the crochet hook. These 3 unfinished long stitches. There is also the original first short needle. The remaining coil. In total, 1 is a total of 4 coils. Now we hook 1 coil. Take all 4 coils. This completes this one. Crochet 3 unfinished long stitches in the same stitch. This is also called a 抛过 needle. Then we hook a short stitch down. Hook a short stitch in the next stitch, here. In this way, the 抛过 needle will puff up. This is what the back looks like. Then we hook a 抛过 needle. Just 3 unfinished long needles. These 3 unfinished long stitches. There are a total of 4 loops on this crochet hook. Crochet with 1 loop. Take all 4 coils. This is the second 抛过 needle. Then we hook a short stitch down. Hook the last 抛过 needle down again. In this way, the second lap is completed. Take off one marker buckle. Mark the location of the buckle, end of extraction, this circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. That is 3. 3 toes and 3 protruding ones. This is what the back looks like. The 3rd to 7th circles are like 1. It is to hook a short stitch on each stitch. Each circle is 6 stitches. Hook the first short stitch at the mark button position. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. The fourth short stitch. The fifth short stitch. Sixth short stitch. The third circle is hook. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle. End of extraction. This one loop tightens the pulled pins. Hook another standing stitch. Hook the first short stitch at the marked button position. Then the 4th circle to the 7th circle is like 1. It's like the 3rd circle is 1. All are short stitches. Minus 1 short stitches per turn. Let's hook it up together. The 7th circle is hook. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle. End of extraction. This circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. The 8th circle is composed of 6 additional stitches. One total is 12 needles. We'll hook the first additional stitch at the marked buckle position. To add stitches is to hook 2 short stitches into the same stitch. Add a marker buckle here on the first stitch. The second additional needle. The third plus needle. There are 3 additional needles. Let's hook it up together. The 8th circle is hook. Take off the marking buckle. Pull at the mark buckle position to end this one loop. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. The 9th circle is composed of 6 minor stitches. One has 6 needles in total. Now let's hook the first subtracting stitch. Pick this position of the mark buckle. This half stitch marks this position of the buckle. And the half stitch of the second stitch. Hook the first subtracting stitch. If the stitch is too tight, use a needle to loosen it first. Add mark buckle. The second subtraction stitch. The third minus stitch. Then there are 3 subtraction stitches. Let's hook it up together. The 9th circle has been hooked. Take off the marking buckle. And the extraction at the mark buckle position. This circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. The 10th circle to the 14th circle are like 1. It is to hook a short stitch on each stitch. Each circle is 6 stitches. Hook the first short stitch at the marked button position. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. These twins are all short stitches. Let's hook it up together. The fourth circle is hook. Take off the marking buckle. Pull at the mark buckle position to end this one loop. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook another pull-out needle, leaving threads to suture broken threads. In this way, this foot and one leg will be completed. If they are not, let's take it and put this knot on the back. In this way, one leg is completed. One of us wants the hook too. Now let's assemble it. After hooking the tail, we use black thread. These 3 tails around the tail. Hook one loop around these 3 tails to pull out the needle. In the first tail is here. The first hole is here. Hook the thread in. Hook one locking stitch. Hook the first pull-out stitch on the same stitch, here. The drawing needle is just 1 turn of crochet thread. Bring out this loop directly on the crochet hook. This is a pull pin. Where there are holes, we crochet. Hook along the 3 tails. The wire of this coil here should be left long enough. This place on the corner. Crochet the stitches in the same stitch. Then hook down. Where there are holes, we hook. This is also the corner. Crochet the stitches in the same stitch. Then come here. We follow this method. 1 hook 3 tails straight away. After hooking, we cut off the thread and hide it. This line is also hidden in. If the line is too short, you can insert the needle first, then put the thread. Pass through. This completes the tail. The main part is also completed. After the mat is finished, we use one black thread comes out into strands. Here comes the one section of the 2-number color. 2 sides to sew one black thread. This is the middle. The position of the center line of the 2 sides. It's a bit crooked. I want to go back. After applying, let's tie a knot. Disconnected. Here again, in the same way. This one side is sewn in the same way. After sewing, let's add stuffing. After the 2 sides are sewn, let's add filling cotton. After adding the filling cotton, this mat is finished. Now let's assemble this flamingo. First, find the location of the center line. Ice. Connected next to each other. Don't leave any gaps in between. Glue to the head. Above the 5th circle to the 7th circle. The mat is sewn under the eyes. Center line, here. That is, from the 8th circle to the 10th circle. Center location. Wings are on the body. The 2 sides. In 30 circle. This is the direction of the 30 circle diagonally upward. Symmetrical on 2 sides. Just put a few stitches into this part. Leg. The leg should have the middle toe facing forward. How much the front? Then sew the legs to the body. 32 circle to 33 circle. Center point of 2 leg. Distance from center point. The distance between the center points is for pins. Now let's fix the eyes first. We can get a shelf. Support your head like this. The eyes need to be glued with heated adhesive strips. If the sticking position is wrong, you can heat it with a hairdryer, then take it out. Glue, again. Now let's go the other eye. The 2 eyes are next to each other. If there is excess tape, we'll leave the excess glue alone for now. Just wait until it dries, then take it off. This way the eyes are fixed. The excess glue can be removed after it dries. Now let's sew up the mouth. When sewing, you can first sew the 4 symmetrical points. That is, after sewing the left, right and upper and lower 4 points first. Show more stitches in other places. This way the position will now change. Check if the direction under 1 is correct. Hidden thread on the back. Next, let's sew the wings. Now let's sew the wings. The wings only need 1 to 3 points here. Just 3 stitches and it'll be fine. Don't sew too much, because there are too many stitches. These wings are not flexible anymore. Just 3 stitches. We can put the wings where we want. Like the side sewn, these wings are more movable. Don't pull the thread too tight. After sewing, we are at the bottom. Hidden line. Tie a knot. Hide the knot again. The wings are now sewn together. It's wings that can move. Now let's sew the feet. Just sew 4 points. 4 points of symmetry. After applying it, the thread is still hidden. In this way, the flamingo is assembled. You can also put some blush on it. This flamingo can sit like this. In this way, this medium-sized flamingo is completed. We put a flower on his head. Or put on a hat. Now let's hook this flower. First, circular stitching. Crochet hook through to form this circle. Hook a coil off it. First hook 7 locking stitches. Now we are in a circular stage. After finishing, hook the first lock stitch. The lock stitch is a crochet stitch wrapped around one loop. Bring out this loop on the crochet hook. This V shape is a locking pin. The second lock stitch. The third lock stitch. The fourth lock needle. The fifth lock stitch. Sixth lock needle. The seventh lock needle. 7 lock pins. After hooking, we crochet through the circle. Bring one coil over here. Hook a pulling needle. Pulling out the needle means directly pulling out the coil. This loop on the crochet hook. Tighten the pull-out pins. This is group 1. One of us is going to repeat the first group just now. 1 is to hook 7 groups in total. 下日. After hooking, tighten the coil and hide the thread. This way the flower is completed. Now let's hook the second group. 7 lug pins. Crochet hook through circle. Bring 1 coil over here. Hook a pulling needle. Tighten the pull-out pins. In this way, the second group has been hooked. Then there are 5 groups. Let's hook it up together. After the 7 groups of hooks are completed, it will look like this. There are 7 circles. Then we hook a pull-out needle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Here you've sew ends. The big flower on the neck of this one. Let's keep the long line. If it is as small. This flower on the head of this bird. We don't have to lift along the line. We don't need to lift along the line here. Here we leave a longer line board. Wiring. Let's tighten it here. Tighten this coil. Move these two sides. Move. Then pull off this thread. Look which wire is moving here. It's this thread that's moving. Let's just pull this one thread. Tighten this coil. When pulling, remember not to loosen the thread. After pulling out, you need to grab this thread. Pull this thread again. Finish this line. This completes the coil collection. Organize it again. Organize so that it overlaps. Make it more three-dimensional. This way the flower is completed. Now let's hook this medium-sized flamingo. This small hat on my head. Now let's hook this hat. It uses 5 strands of wire. Here is 5 shears. This woolen yarn is wide for hooking. It's done with a small crochet hook. Here is the loop stitch. 6 short stitches. The first circle. It's a circular stitch. The first short stitch. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. the 4th short stitch, the 5th short stitch, 6th short stitch. Tighten the coil. Pull on this line. Look at which of these 2 wires is moving. This root is moving. Let's pull this one root. After you've collected it, collect this thread again. After collecting it, just pull this one thread. Cut off the thread. After collecting the coil, take off the marking buckle. Undo extraction at the marked buckle position. This circle. Pulling out is just 1 turn of crochet thread. Bring out this loop directly on the crochet hook. This is a pull pin. This pull-out needle is not counted as the 1 turn needle, so we tighten the pins here. Hook 1 standing stitch in each loop. Start hooking again. The second circle is composed of 6 additional stitches. 1 total is 12 needles. Hook the first additional stitch at the marked bottom position. To add stitches is to hook 2 short stitches into the same stitch. It's the first extra needle. Add a marker buckle here on the first stitch. The second additional needle. The third plus needle. The 4th plus needle. The 5th plus needle. 6th additional needle. The second circle is hook. Take off the marking buckle. Hook a pull-out pin at the marked buckle position. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook another standing stitch. The third round is to pick the second half stitch to hook. The second half of the needle is the half of the needle that is far away from us. It's this half stitch. This half stitch at the back. Here is the first half stitch. Let's pick the second half stitch to hook. 1 half stitch each and 1 short stitch. 1 total is 12 needles. Let's pick the position where the buckle is marked. This second half stitch. Hook the first short stitch. Add mark buckle. Pick the second half stitch. Hook the second short stitch. Pick the second half stitch and hook the third short stitch. This circle is all hooked like this. Let's hook it up together. The third circle is hooked. After hooking, there will be 1 channel here. It's the first half stitch here that we didn't hook. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle. Lead to end this circle. Tighten the pull-out pins. Hook a standing stitch. The 4th round is to hook a short stitch on each stitch. 1 total is 12 needles. Hook the first short stitch at the marked bottom position. Add mark buckle. The second short stitch. The third short stitch. This circle is all short stitches. Let's hook it up together. The 4th circle is hook. Take off the marking buckle. Mark the location of the buckle. End of extraction. This 1 loop tightens the pulled pins. Hook a standing stitch. The 5th loop is hooked with the first half stitch. It's just a half needle close to our enter hole. When hooked, it is hook 6 group. 3 long needles in 1 stitch, and 1 long needle and additional needle. It means hooking 2 long needles into 1 stitch. Hook 6 group looping like this. That is, here at the first pin. We are making 3 long stitches in the same stitch. Second pin, here. Hook 2 long needles into the same stitch. That's it. 1 group repeats the hook like this. 1 is a total of 6 groups of hooks. Now, let's hook. Group 1. Because the first stitch here is a long stitch. Long needle is longer, so here we are. We just hooked the standing stitch. We need to hook 1 more standing stitch. Here we need to hook the standing stitches. Now we are here on the first pin. That's where the buckle is marked. Make 3 long stitches in the same stitch. And it's hook half a stitch in advance. The long needle is crochet, winding 1 turn. Crochet hook through first half stitch. Come out with 1 coil. There are now 3 loops on the crochet hook. Crochet with 1 loop. Finish the first 2 coils. The thread has 2 loops on the crochet hook. Crochet hook with 1 more loop. Finish the remaining 2 coils. This one here is a long needle. We have a stitch outside this. This stitch requires 3 long stitches in total. I just hooked the long needle. Now hook the second long stitch. The third long needle. Then pick the outer half stitch of the next stitch. Long needle plus needle. It means hooking 2 long needles in the same stitch. In this way, the first group is hooked. We add the marker buckle here on the first stitch. Now let's hook the second group. Pick out half stitch. Make 3 long stitches in the same stitch. Pick out half stitch. Make 2 long stitches in the same stitch. In this way, the second group has been hooked. The third group picks the outer half stitch. Make 3 long stitches in the same stitch. Pick out half stitch. Make 2 long stitches in the same stitch. The third group of hook is finished. Then there are 3 groups. Let's hook it up together. The 5th circle is hooked. This is what it looks like after hooking it up. This is wrinkled, because 1 stitch hooked 3 long needles. 1 stitch hooked 2 long needles. It's wavy like this. Take off the marking buckle. Pull out of the mark buckle position to end this. One loop tightens the pull-out stitches. Here we can hook another pull-out needle. Then disconnect. Then hide the thread inside, hidden here on the back. In this way, there is one channel which is the inner half needle. Now hook. Now let's use one more black wire. It's also a 5-shear stop. Come and hook a loop around this edge to pull out the needle. Now we use 5 strands of black wire. Come around this edge, then hook one loop here. Crochet through. The crochet needle passes through this place where the pull is drawn. Either position is okay. After hooking the black thread in like this, first hook a standing stitch. That is, lock needle. Then we go around the circle to hook and pull out the needle. On this first pin here, hook the first pull-out needle. The extraction needle is directly equipped with one coil. Bring out this loop directly on the crochet hook. This is the first pull pin with marker buckle. The second extraction needle. The third pull-out needle. The fourth pull-out pin. The fifth pin. Let's finish the hook together. After hooking, take off the marking buckle. Hook another pull-out pin at this position of the mark buckle. Connect up. Tightening into stitches. Disconnect and hide the thread ends. This is the thread starting from 1. We hide it 2. Just like this, one circle is completed. Now let's make this hat. Its wrinkles are more obvious. It's less obvious now. To make it more obvious, we stitch the inner hat stitch on the back. Here, sew a circle, seam and tighten the thread. Sew one circle along this inner half stitch. Tighten the thread when sewing. This way the wrinkles will be more obvious. Tighten the thread while sewing. This way the mouth will be smaller. Sewing to the end. Tie a knot with the thread starting from 1. We can tighten at one point. In this way, the wrinkles of the hat will be much more obvious. Tie a knot with the thread, again. Cut off the thread. In this way, the wrinkles of this hat will be much more obvious. More three-dimensional. This is what the back looks like. In this way, this medium-sized flamingo is completed. We put a flower on his head or a hat.